You know what the biggest disappointment on the show was, Trevor?
What?
By far, the biggest disappointment on the show was Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because
yeah.
let's actually get into this just for a minute because
Yeah.
okay, okay. So match starts off. Randy Orton slithers, takes 15 minutes to get to the ring after we've already waited like 30 minutes for WrestleMania to start, and then the Fiend comes in. He goes into a hallway. Fog fills the hallway, and the burnt Fiend turns into the original Fiend, which actually a much scarier match. Which I was like, okay, cool. We got rid of the burnt
Because
Fiend.
we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. What was going to happen with that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I
Now,
wasn't
speaking for
surprised. Like this was like what they were gonna do anyway. Just like
what?
have a magical like, oh god damn it, pal, he's the Fiend again. But
No,
I mean, look, that wasn't even the worst part of this. I did not mind that. Okay, I was like, okay,
no,
cool,
not at
that's
all.
fine, understandable. But then they have a big Jack in the Box. Okay, again, I was like, cool, this is kind of cool. Alexa Bliss does the thing. She turns the Jack in the Box, and the Fiend pops out and attacks Randy Orton. Amazing start to the match. It was all downhill
Exactly.
from there. All downhill from there. They have a regular wrestling
Yeah.
match. The Fiend, like, nothing phases him. Randy Orton does 3 DDTs, but nothing phases the Fiend. He keeps getting up, keeps on getting up. And then, as the Fiend delivers his sister Abigail's kiss to Randy Orton, he's stopped by Alexa Bliss, who comes up from out of the Jack in the Box, dressed in black with the black goo, the worst gimmick in professional wrestling. This black goo running
Yeah.
down her face. Pause, and she and 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 she distracts the Fiend, and the Fiend gets RKO'd in 1, 2, 3. The match is over.
And then he gets right back up.
And then they disappear. That's bad enough, all right? The match was bad enough. But what they did the next night pissed me off so much. You know why, Trevor? Because now Alexa Bliss. Okay, you want to do the storyline where Alexa Bliss leaves the Fiend and now she's this dark entity on her own? Okay.
With just all that came out of nowhere that we don't understand. No one explained shit about.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's okay. You know what? I get it. She had to go off on her own. Let the Fiend be by himself as well. You know, I get that. But the way they did it, they just said, "Ha, well, it happened," and now the Fiend's not
Yeah,
angry about it.
that there was no storyline leading up to it. There was no reason behind it. It just happened. And you're sitting there, you're like, okay, this is unsatisfying. This, the lead up, the story, the whole storyline was great. But there were times, like I said, that it kind of left me like, it's getting old. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Then the Fiend comes back. Yes, okay, regular match. That makes no sense.
But you know what the worst thing was about the entire thing, Trevor? Because if you watched Raw last night, they said that Randy Orton and Fiend are done. The Fiend
Yeah,
said, "Well, I'm going in a different direction." Randy Orton said, "I'm going in a different direction." They built this up for months as Randy Orton and the Fiend, like a death feud. Literally, Randy Orton burned you alive. You are the darkest entity in professional wrestling, and you're just like, "Oh well, I'm moving on. See you next time." We literally, Trevor, wasted the past 4 months with this bullshit storyline. I'm not even saying, okay, yeah, of course Randy Orton had to go off and do his own thing and Fiend had to go do his own thing eventually.
yeah.
But that's how you end it? You're
But there
saying,
was
well,
no ending. There was really no
there was
ending.
nothing. The Fiend got distracted by Alexa Bliss, and then he chooses to just, oh, well, I'm going to forgive everybody, including the man who burned me alive and the person who cost me my revenge. See ya.
Like,
It honestly, I'm sorry. Last thing I'm going to say. For
oh,
me,
absolutely.
okay. I've given WWE creative a lot of leeway with the Fiend. I like the Fiend. I like the character. I like Bray Wyatt's vision for the Fiend. But the direction this character has taken over the past 4 months, dude, it's just I can't justify this. It's
No.
terrible. It's a terror. Like it makes him. You know what it does? It makes him look like a fucking geek.
Yeah, it does. But see, that's what they did with Bray Wyatt in the first fucking place. Like, he had so many great, great rivalries. There could have been more, and they killed it. They killed it before it could even start. Him and Finn Balor could have been a hell. Like when he became Fiend, could have been a hell of a storyline, a rivalry. Like with Finn Balor being, the demon Finn Balor, you could the first match went the way it was supposed to go. Fiend was supposed to squash it. Then you could have next time they're on actual television, could have had Finn Balor coming out like, hey, like this, that, and third. I'm not sticking for that. But that's not what happened. You had Finn Balor get squashed, then run with his tail between his legs, go back to NXT, which is not a bad idea. He should be on NXT. But they could have built that to be something more.
It's also like you remember in 2003 when The Undertaker was buried alive by Kane?
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened. They spent months building up the big return of The Undertaker. He returns at WrestleMania, and he loses, and then the next night he just forgets about it.
Right.
How mad would you be? This is the exact same thing, basically just played out. Like the exact same thing, just played out before our eyes.
It's to me, unfortunately, I don't expect much from WWE Raw, the Raw brand. And I mean, yes, it's WWE in a whole and not just one particular show, but I don't expect much. Like they have clearly had the worst show by leaps and bounds for months now. And each show to me gets worse and worse. And like, we're not even going to get on the fact that you killed fucking Hurt Business and then he teams up with what's left of Retribution. Anyway, but yeah, so.
Goddamn, pal, gotta push T-Bar. Or whatever his name is. Hey, I'll give him this. T-Bar is actually entertaining on Twitter. I will say that.
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious. Actually.
He's hilarious on Twitter. T-Bar attack. But no.
I totally feel like they wasted time. They wasted a good storyline, and they're wasting talent with Bray Wyatt. Honestly, I would like Bray Wyatt somewhere else. Honestly.
Like at this point, it's just it just makes him look like a geek. It makes him look weak. And that's something the Fiend can't look like. You already you had Goldberg beat him. You had him lose the title to Roman Reigns. And now you have Randy Orton hit him with an RKO, and Alexa Bliss costs him the match, and now he just moves on. Look, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, at this point, I don't even feel like, the sad part is, I watched the Firefly Funhouse segment with Bray Wyatt. I was still entertained by it last night.
Yeah.
But just knowing that eventually it's going to let me down because somehow like WWE is going to put their own spin on it and ruin it, it just makes me deflated and I don't even want to watch it because it's good. It's like the biggest cuck in the world. It's the biggest cuck in the world because I'm just like, I'm going to get so excited for like this one moment and then it's going to be just ruined at the end. So look, I mean, it was terrible. I think universally panned. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.